Hello, good evening. How are we all? Good evening, beautiful people. Well, this evening, this is exciting. I am trying the triple broadcast. I'm going live into my Facebook group, my Facebook page, and Instagram while we gather the peeps and I get the chat, I think. Fabulous. So how are you all? Thank you for joining me. It's a blustery old February day out there, but I do feel like we're easing in to getting closer to the light at the end of the tunnel. Would you agree? Would you agree? I'm not sure if you're aware, but yesterday was Imbolc, which is the celebration of the midpoint between winter and spring. So energetically, that's starting to feel a little bit lighter. And I don't know whether you're feeling that too. Do let me know if you're starting to feel like the light at the end of the tunnel is shining brighter for you, is more encouraging, giving you more sense of hope. Those little buds are out, aren't they? The daffodils, we're starting to eke into a little bit more lightness. So do let me know. Do let me know. So this evening, we're going to be chatting about the pandemic fatigue, because I'm recognizing in my communities, I'm hearing it in my clients and in my friendship groups, that everybody's feeling very, very, very tired. We're beginning to get to the end of our patience, perhaps. We're feeling like this is very stretched out for a long time. We're really wondering, like, how much longer do we have to have our emotional needs neglected? So that's what we're going to be talking about this evening, is about why we are on a massive scale, more than ever, feeling fatigue, lethargic. I'm hearing lots of people are suffering with insomnia, not getting great sleep, or if they are managing to sleep, it's interrupted sleep, or that real kind of exhausted wakefulness. When you wake up, you still feel like dog tired. Let me know if you relate to any of this. Others, I know we have teachers and professionals and essential workers in our community as well, and they're working harder than ever with no extra reward or threats of just pay freezes. It's all feeling like a lot, right? And I've been really determined to kind of put the January hangover, although I did dry January, it still feels like a hangover all month, like putting the hangover of 2020 and like the 1st of Feb, fresh start, ready to really reboost my energy, my motivation, alongside that of my community. So you're in the right place if you're looking for some extra energy, you want to feel excited, you want to get some focus back again, you really want to do something with your life other than work, homeschool, or watch Netflix, which seem to be the very common options right now. Let me just have a quick old check here. Oh, Catherine, yeah, I know Catherine is a teacher. She's working incredibly long hours to keep her online pupils happy. It's getting even busier. Like, we feel for you. Like, I salute you, teachers. Just having a few children, 3 at home during homeschool, is enough for my capabilities. So we're gathered here today. We are gathered here today. I'm just getting some messages in, so just checking that's nothing major going on there. It's all good. It's all good. So we are gathered here today, ladies and gentlemen and folk. We're here to discuss really the toll that the stress, that the uncertainty, that our lack of freedom is starting to cause. I mean, and I say starting like quite flippantly, but actually it's been ongoing for some time now, for almost a year, right? I was looking for some stats to see if there really is any research coming in yet. I love to work from evidence to see what the impact has been upon mental health, and it's somewhere like up by 30%. And I think that's like massively underreported at the moment. I think it's going to be far higher than that. And I think the shock waves coming out of this, even when we do get our freedoms back and we're able to ease back into the next chapter. I don't want to say normal, because life is never going to be normal again. We're going to have to adjust hugely to living very differently moving forwards, because I'm certain that this won't be the last surprise that modern life is going to throw in the midst. So even more reason that we need to be flexible, we need to be resilient, we need to be able to move with the changes and move fast. Getting stuck in old ways, living from the past, living in previous ways that we did things. We need to be shifting with the times and shifting with what nature and technology is asking us to do, right? And thank goodness for technology, otherwise I wouldn't have this amazing opportunity to beam into your lounges via your phones. It just blows my mind every time. So let's talk about then, if you are feeling these heavy, draining symptoms, if you're just finding you much more emotional than normal. I was speaking to one of my clients the other day, and she's just said that she's very, very tearful. She's not somebody that cries easily generally, unlike myself. And she's just saying, I just can't understand why I'm feeling so tearful, so weepy, like everything was setting her off. And it's because, let's talk about what's going on. Okay, so why we're operating in a stress state. So fear or flight, you're all really familiar, it's total evidence of that this year, triggered when we feel a response that could be, in our subconscious mind's perception, life-threatening, and definitely the way that the media talks about what's going on in the, I say outside world, because I feel protected here in my little loft studio where I work from. The nervous system is designed to protect us from perceived danger. And every single day we're being told that our lives could be threatened at the moment. And really what goes on for the nervous system when we have these triggers is as dangerous, because it doesn't recognize the difference between reality, imaginary. The subconscious processes everything with the same emergency state, which is good when we want to change the patterns of the subconscious mind. Not so good when it's triggering off low-level stress response the whole time, as if our life is being threatened. Every time BBC News pings up on your phone and you read about the increased death rates, for example, your nervous system is literally going, bear, run. So in theory, it's producing a whole ton of adrenaline, which when we're very sedentary because we're stuck at home, we're not moving as much as normal, that adrenaline has nowhere to go. It literally is just being flooded with catecholamine, which is the neuropeptide which triggers off the fear or flight response. And that's really dangerous for us. That causes inflammation, that stops the nervous system from getting into rest and digest state. And that rest and digest state is exactly what we need to repair, restore, be able to process, to be able to be compassionate towards all of our other fellow humans right now. I don't know if it's just me, or if you've noticed that everyone's a little bit more angsty, like the internet scrapping and fighting that goes on. Oh, it just drives me nuts. Just people being pretty unpleasant to one another. There's a lot of divide. 2020, it's not just about the pandemic. There's been some incredibly shifting, emotionally arousing, big shit happening, right? And with all of that put into the mixing pot, it's like the perfect storm for humans to really display some of their not nicer sides. So that we've got all of that going on, the worry about whether, if you're homeschooling at the moment or home learning, if you're a parent, that stress, are my children falling behind, worrying about our children's mental health because they're not socializing, right? All of these things are really adding up to be layers and layers and layers of stress. And our nervous system isn't designed for us to be under this much multi-layered stress for such an extended period of time. It's almost a year now, right? Then we add into that the fact that emotionally and mentally we're not getting our 9 essential needs being met. And just in essence, I talk about these a lot, and I'll never apologize for talking about this a lot. So if you've heard me talk about this before, say, oh yeah, I've heard this, human givens, Naomi. Okay, here's your challenge, right? Intellectually what I'm about to say, Practically, emotionally, spiritually, physically, what are you doing about it? Are you doing the work on your 9 emotional needs? If so, if not, start paying attention to them. Think about what's one thing I could do differently coming out the back of this quick talk this evening. How can I feel more secure in my life? Security is the first of the 9 emotional needs. Am I giving and receiving enough attention? Is a question I would be asking myself. How much control am I taking over the things that can be controlled? And how can I let go of some of the control of the things that I can't control? Privacy. How can I retain a sense of privacy if you live in a busy house or a busy workplace now? Things aren't quite the same. How do you feel emotionally and socially connected? And this is a huge one. Even if you feel like you're an introvert and actually you quite relish the idea of being at home by yourself and not having to go out there into the big wide world, there's research showing that it's just those small little social interactions, having a chat while you grab your coffee in the morning, or chatting to mums at the school gate, or just all of those small little micro social interactions actually hugely impact our emotional well-being. And that is like being completely stripped out. Everything's so contrived and arranged now, isn't it? Like Zoom calls for this and Zoom calls for that. So really focus in on that one. That's a big one that will make a massive shift. How is your status been affected by what's been going on the last 12 months? And how are you getting your desire, your need for belonging and meaning and achievement met? Because again, it's huge. We cannot thrive. We cannot get to capacity where we're able to consistently give if we're not receiving those 9 emotional needs being met. I talk about these a lot. I'll signpost you over to my Instagram IGTV, and you'll find one little clip on each of those topics with lots of ideas about how you can implement and affect those during the pandemic. Yeah, no, you can never hear them enough, Abby. I love that. It's a game changer. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, when you check in with those levels, I have a questionnaire that you can use. Lots and lots of chat about that over on my Instagram. So those are all hugely impacted. And those, when we don't get those met, that affects the way that we show up in the world. It affects the way that we feel. It affects our emotions. It affects our resilience. It affects our capacity to be ourselves and to be able to give. So, and if that two-way exchange, if you're finding that you're somebody that gives and you're not receiving, imagine breathing out, giving the whole time, breathing out and never breathing in. It's an exchange that is not sustainable. So I encourage you to think about giving and receiving in all areas of your life as an energetic exchange, the same way that you breathe, in equal proportion, in and out, in and out. So hopefully you'll understand now some of the reasons why you feel fatigued, why you feel down, why you're feeling emotional, why you're just so damn exhausted, because all of this is going on. It's a lot for us to process. Now, things that you can do that are really, really going to make a difference is to notice that your nervous system is under an incredible amount of stress, and try and take yourself from that fight or flight response over to the parasympathetic response, which is the rest and digest. And to do that, we literally need to rest. However, watching Netflix with a glass of wine doesn't count. It needs to be deep, restorative rest. It needs to be the kind of rest that gets our nervous system to the state where we can replenish its cells, where we can rejuvenate, where we then are able to change the brainwave activity so we sleep better. So by planning in micro moments of self-soothing rest, and this is when we feel really busy. We're busy humans right now. We're spinning a lot of plates. I see it all the time with my clients. The first thing to go out the window is their self-care. But actually, this is when you really need to double down on your self-care. And by self-care, I mean more than simply a bubble bath. I mean by prioritizing your emotional well-being by taking good quality rest. If that's snippets of time to just focus on your breath, very simply, Do some grounding exercises where you connect back in, feet on the floor, focusing on your breath, just feeling your heartbeat. Simple as that for a few moments. That's really going to help you to reset, rejuvenate, replenish. So breathing, coming back to the breath, is a great way to reset. Something else I love, because it's so simple and it's so easy, is having an attitude of gratitude. Yes, there is a lot to worry about if you choose to. There's an awful lot to be grateful for right now too. So if you don't already, take 5 minutes before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning to do your gratitude practice. I encourage you wholeheartedly. So just taking 5 things that you've noticed that you're grateful for that day. And it could be your good health, it could be the roof over your head, it could be your strong legs for taking you on a beautiful long hike, it could be the weather, it can be anything. But it's that simple act of noticing, because you start to rewire, reprogram your subconscious mind to start to seek more of the same. Where your energy goes, where your energy flows, your attention, I'll get that out the right way. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And so you'll start seeking out more. And it is an instant mood booster. I've never heard from one of my clients that said, sorry, Naomi, gratitude didn't work for me. It's simple, it's easy, it's game changing. So there you go. That's the third one. And then finally, social media consumption. And I feel like a hypocrite because here we are sitting on social media, but to really be intentional about what we are consuming on social media, starting to put really strong boundaries in. We can get so easily stuck when we're feeling depleted, trying to get a dopamine hit from our social media accounts and from the way that we use it. That scroll in itself is very meditative, and we get like into hypnosis. So it's been really mindful. I've recently taken all notifications off of my phone because I'd just be distracted all day long. You can get apps that literally cut you off after you've had your 10 minutes or half an hour that you've decided is the right amount of time for you, whatever it is. Have a look at your screen time report. You will be horrified, but just stay away from that doom scroll. Have a really good cleanup of your social media accounts as well. Like if you're feeling a little less than, fatigued, tearful, you're not coping as well as you would hope right now, clear up. If you spend a lot of time on social media, have a clear up. Anyone that pisses you off or upsets you or triggers you, unfollow, just mute them, just cut them out for a little while until you're feeling good again, or forever. That's an option too, but it doesn't always have to be forever. If you worry about that, if you mute them or you just quieten them, you just don't have to hear their stuff that you might find difficult if they have for whatever reason. Let's not get into that. So those are 3 little tips: breathing, being in the present moment, gratitude, and having a social media audit and a social media attention to how you're consuming social media to avoid the doom scroll. Not good for our subconscious minds. So those are 3 tips. And if you are feeling, yeah, I'm with you, Naomi, I get all this intellectually, but I'm not following through energetically, spiritually, or physically with any of these things that I know that I really should be doing because it just feels like a full-time job, then I've got a cracking invite for you. I really do. I would love for you to come and join a little thing that I've put together. And I say a little thing, it's a big shenanigan. It's an online event called Relight Your Fire, all about rediscovering your energy, your motivation, rekindling, all of that, stoking up your fire, all those things that seem long forgotten in this long trudge through being stuck at home, maybe with kids, maybe trying to run businesses, maybe caring for parents, maybe worrying about the future, all of those things. Let's put it into perspective and come spend a week together. It's from the 15th of February. It's a series of free virtual events in the evening. If you can't come live, don't worry, I'll send you a replay. All you need to do is, look, I've got a little banner thing going on down there. It's come and sign up. Come and join the party. Everything I do is done with sprinkle and it's done with sprinkles. It's done with sprinkles. My kids would love that. Sound like making fairy cakes, but it's all done with a sprinkle of fun. It's all done with a bit of glitz, a bit of dancing, and I'm on a mission to make sure that personal growth and emotional wellness is never boring. So I would love for you to come and join us. It's super simple to sign up. Come and invite your friends. I've got heaps of prizes to help bribe your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind will try to sabotage you. So we'll be talking about self-sabotage, procrastination, how to get your motivation back, how to feel re-energized from the inside out, how to get focused, loads of value in loads of practical wisdom, all wrapped up with my skills as a hypnotherapist, a solution-focused psychotherapist, and an emotional freedom therapist too. I should have said that at the start, but all of the work that I do is evidence-based. The science of well-being is what really floats my boat, and I really want to share all of this wisdom with you. So do tell your friends. And will you be required to sing Relight Your Fire? We might have to. I've got a lot of fire metaphors planned, a lot of fire song related songs. So yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a boogie. We'll all be at home, and you can join in, or if that's not your thing, you don't need to either. Oh, you can just do it at your own pace. Going to wrap it all up with some self-care as well. So if you've got face masks, one of them lovely sheet face masks, you've got one of them bubbly things that you pop your feet into to have a nice foot massage in the water pool, you know, those old school ones from the 90s. We recently got gifted one, so I'm going to be getting that out. I'm really encouraging you just to make it a really relaxing ritual every evening as well, because I know that you're working hard, you're busy humans, but I'm going to encourage you to be a less busy, less stressed human being rather than a human doing for the duration of the week of the 15th of February. So I shall see you then. Invite your friends, tag them in this video so they can come and watch it later if they haven't jumped on live tonight, and ask me any questions. I'm always happy to talk about emotional wellness and the science of well-being if you've got any questions. Gorgeous ones, gorgeous. So I shall see you then. Adios. Thank you.